Folks, you may now be seated. It's with great pleasure that I welcome you all to the wedding of Kate Ledger and Moses Cram. Let's give them a big round of applause. My name is Elle Westling, and I'm duly authorised by law to solemnise marriages according to law. I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. On behalf of Kate and Mo, I would also like to acknowledge and thank David and Christine and Andrew and Julie for being loving and supportive parents, for raising these two right and equipping them with the life skills that are needed to reach these pivotal moments in their young lives. You have given them roots and wings, freedom to fly and a soft place to fall. Both Kate and Mo are eternally grateful. To Julie, you've proven your strength and resilience in these last few weeks especially, and Kate cannot thank you enough for all that you do for her and her little family. All right, let's rewind a few years back to when these two met at the gym in town for the second time in their young lives. Mo thought Kate was a hottie, but didn't think she really liked him. Little did he know, she'd secretly been eyeing him off too. Mo ended up introducing himself. Kate couldn't quite understand him. She figured he might have a lisp and was pretty certain he said his name was Mavis. She thought he was a bit weird having a name like that, to be honest. Yet she still has his name saved as Mavi in her phone to this day. And she still thinks he's weird. They eventually figured out what each other's correct name was, and when Kate got home that afternoon, she told her mum Julie all about him. Now, Moses, or Mavis for that matter, is not a common name. So when Julie heard that Kate had met a guy named Moses, she said, "Is his last name Cram?" Kate said yes, and it turns out that these two had actually met each other before when they were little babies. There is even a photo of the both of them together at the age of 2. Both of their families were friends. They hung out together and even spent Christmas together before Kate's family moved to Tasmania when she was 3. Kate called Tassie home for 15 years before moving to the Gold Coast. After a falling out with a friend, she decided to head back down here to the South Coast, where she met Mo for the second time at the gym. After a drunken night, Kate mustered up the courage to add him on Facebook. He ignored the request for about 2 weeks until he realised that she was the hottie from the gym. Their first unofficial date was a day at Rennie's Beach, where they swam in the rock pools, surfed, and topped it off with a pie from Hayden's. It was perfect. Kate knew after that day that she'd found her other half. They just clicked. It was as if they had known each other forever, and as it turns out, they had. On their first official date, they ate a huge steak and talked for hours. Mo picked Kate a pretty yellow flower, which is still in her possession, and he tricked her into thinking he was cute. Turns out deep down he is a big cutie, and has been there for Kate through some of her darkest times. He always makes her laugh every single day, whether it's with him or at him, and he honestly makes her feel like the most loved person in the world. When I asked Mo what he loves most about Kate, he replied, "It might sound a bit strange, but I like her smell, 99% of the time." He also said that if Kate puts her mind to something, she's going to get it. She has this strength that she is unaware of, which he finds very inspirational. Above everything, Kate always makes both him and Rennie feel loved and cared for. They've definitely wanted to kill each other a few times and had their fair share of arguments, but what couple hasn't? They've seen each other at their worst, angry, sad, stubborn and sleep deprived, the sides of each other that no one else gets to see. And marriage is much the same. It's the dirtiest, hardest,